Welcome back. Episode number 12, Foundation. What else does 12 mean? I don't know. The Lord had 12 disciples?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, foundation.
We're just going to go with the foundation. The Lord laid the foundation with the 12 disciples.
That part.
Y'all can tell us in the comments what 12 means spiritually. Don't give us something else from, horoscope and all. I don't want to hear any of that. Scripturally, what does the number 12 mean?
That part.
Help us out, Brother Keith or Pastor Gene.
Or Pamela. Pamela be knowing.
Oh, yeah, Pamela. For this one, we want to talk about the suddenlies of God. And this topic came up because our pastor, our current pastor, at the beginning of the year started talking about, this is going to be a season of suddenlies, a season of suddenlies. And when that came up, I realized I was triggered, and not in a good way. I was triggered. And we have a story for you from the great state of Georgia, where we didn't understand at that time the suddenlies of God, because we had some suddenlies that happened. So I'll tell you the first part of the story, and Marquita will pick up. So what we did was, we were at church one Sunday, and the current pastor at that time, he was like, God's gonna do it. You're gonna get the bag, you're gonna get the job, you're gonna get the relationship. You are in the season of the suddenlies. And he starts going through all these scriptures. And suddenly God showed up for Joseph after 13 years. And suddenly God showed up for the Israelites. They came out of Egypt. And suddenly Esther was in a position to deliver the Israelite people, and that they could defend themselves. And suddenly Ruth was pregnant, had Boaz, and, was in the generational line of David and Jesus. And suddenly, and so we were amped. We were hyped. We were like, yes, full of faith, ready to go, believing God. I was like, yes, we have sacrificed. We have suffered. we have done everything we could do for the Lord. When I say at that time in our lives, we probably spent 3 or 4 days at church, not only at church, doing outreach, other stuff and all that. We barely had time to do anything recreational, because we were all in. And we have since known you don't have to kill yourself and strive for Jesus. But at that time, we were doing everything possible, much younger at that time. And we were just like, we are all in. Finally, this is going to pay off in a major way. No more, believing God for the little bit. No more like we're going to be in the overflow, baby. Let's go. The suddenlies of God. And so Marquita was working in the beautiful city of Covington at a beautiful, lush property, living her best life. And then suddenly, it probably wasn't even 5 days after that service, she found herself in a reduction in force, unemployed.
I was suddenly unemployed.
Unemployed. And as we always tell y'all, wherever she lives, her rent is discounted. So she lived on property. So suddenly she had 21 days or something to find a new place to live.
7 days.
Was it 7 days?
7 days.
To find a new place to live.
Yeah.
And she did have a vehicle at that time. She did have a vehicle.
I did.
Not the Jeep, but another vehicle that the Lord had blessed her with. So, we kind of having a conversation because we're best friends. We're like, man, that dude Prophet lied.
Right, that part.
Because suddenly everything's going down. Everything's getting, everything's being taken away. Suddenly, and at that time, her mother, they weren't living in the same place. Her mom was in a very discounted
senior community.
For a senior community where your adult children were not allowed to stay with you, but she was nearby. So, because of all these things that had happened and because of the timing of it, Marquita found herself without a place to stay. And so,
oh, woe was me.
She's like, I'm houseless. I'm in a property management. I don't know where to go.
Listen.
And I was like, Marquita, don't fear. You're my bestie. You can come stay here. And she was like, no. You already have people in your crib. So at that time, I had a 2-bedroom apartment, and there was a family that was fleeing domestic violence that was in our church from another state, or so I was told. And so that was the story I was told. And so, and I believe them. She had 2 teenagers and then a 6-year-old. And so I was like, hey, I got an extra room. As a matter of fact, y'all can take the master and I'll move into the guest room and, till you get on your feet or whatever. So Marquita was like, you got a house full of people. I was like, I've got a couch with a fireplace in the living room that you're more than welcome to have, because if I can house strangers, surely I can house my bestie from Indiana. So begrudgingly, she came and took up space on the couch. Now I'm going to say one more thing before I toss it to her. So I had told her when she came, she was like, everything I own is in that car. Everything I own is in my car. And I was like, well, you can bring it up. Said, I ain't going to be here long because I'm going to get another job. And I was like, yep, you're going to get another job. But you sure you want to leave it in the car? Because I mean, like the back seat, you can tell somebody's moving. Like the trunk, everything was packed out.
Listen.
She's like, nope, not doing it. So every day she would go down to the car, get what she needed to wear and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So she was like, I'm not going to trash out your living room or whatever. And then we had another suddenly, an unexpected suddenly.
Suddenly there was a knock on the door.
at 2 a.m. in the morning one night.
And I'm like, oh, I want to fight anyway. Let's get it. Who is this? You know what I'm saying? Somebody better not be trying. So anyway, like, who is it? And whoever they said, and I'm like, what is it?
Because they were knocking like they were the police.
Right,
so I immediately assumed, oh, they've got the wrong apartment. I mean, it was like, bam, bam, bam,
listen,
bam,
I was
bam,
ready
bam,
for
bam.
war because I was just going through it suddenly. So I didn't care who it was, except for Mr. Officer. So
we opened the door.
We opened the door, and it was my car people. And I was like, hey. And she was like, we're here to get the car.
Oh, no, she didn't say it like that. She was hollering.
Oh, she was.
She was hollering. She was like, we're here to get the vehicle. We're here to repossess it for non-payment. Give us the keys.
And I started laughing.
Out of nowhere, laughter took over us, right? And this woman is standing there, and like you can tell she's been through some barroom brawl. She had a cut on her face, like she's like. And then there's this guy.
She was ready for war.
There's this guy with her, and they're looking around because they're trying to see if there's some men with us that's going to fight them or whatever. And we just break out in this laughter.
I'm talking about laughing.
And it was authentic laughter. Y'all hear us laugh a lot, but I mean, we were belly laughing.
Right.
And Marquita was like, I can't even believe it. Like, what else, Lord? Okay, suddenly. You know how we get upset with God? Suddenly. You know? So Marquita was like, I just have one request. Y'all can hold the keys. I just need to open the rope. May I please get my stuff out of the vehicle?
Right.
Please let me get the stuff out of the vehicle. And do you remember what the lady said?
I do not.
She totally relaxed and she said, she turned to the guy, she said,
oh, yeah.
We've never had anybody laugh before. Of course, y'all can get your stuff.
She did say that.
So we're going to get like luggage, trash bag, and we're walking up the steps because I'm on the second.
And we're still laughing.
And we're laughing the whole way. I was like, I can't believe. I was like, dude, prophet lied. And we bought the lie. Marquis like, I'm from the street. I should have known he was lying, talking about suddenly. I mean, it's in the Bible. We're not mad at you, God, but I think he prophet lied. And so we were just laughing. Like, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for letting us get everything out of the vehicle. Because we even gave them the keys once we unlocked that. It's like, just need to pop the trunk and get the the stuff out. So then the woman says, she says, well, what happened? And you said, I lost my job. And this is my friend, my friend's house. I'm sleeping on her couch. And she said, because Marquita was getting unemployment because reduction in force. But if you've ever gotten unemployment, it's not over $400 a week.
No, it was cheap back then.
It was like 300 something a week or whatever. And she said, come see me on Friday.
That's what she said.
Come see me on Friday. Instead of like full payment, come see me on Friday. And that happened like on a Tuesday night. And by Friday, what happened?
I had the car back.
Had the car back.
Had
favor with the people. They were like, and even when you went to get the car, I had to drive you to take you to get the car.
She said again.
She said, we've never had anybody. Like people want to fight us, cuss us out, spit on us, try to beat us up, throw us down the steps. She said, that's why she said, y'all were really cool. But for us, we were like, where did that laughter come from? There's a scripture that says, laugh at me and my enemies, and I shall arise. And I just believe there's another scripture that says that he who sits in the heavens laughs.
Come on.
And so we are seated with Christ in heavenly places. And God just gave us that joy, which then gave us that favor and opened that door, because we weren't intended to laugh because nothing good was happening.
Nothing.
Other than we weren't outdoors and, and I had a car. So it was truly a favor-filled experience, and we did see the hand of God in it, and you did testify about it that Sunday.
Absolutely.
These people came and took my car, because I couldn't pay. And the next time she was like, and the next time, just communicate with me. I'll work with you because you good people. So sometimes when you're in the midst of a challenging situation and in the natural, you really want to lash out at somebody because you're just like, it's not my fault. I lost my job. And a lot of people right now, in 2026. It's just been reduction in force. People are using AI. It seems like every time I open up my phone or see the news, another 2,000 people are being laid off or something like that. And so God can bring joy in the midst of that situation. And it wasn't long after that you received new employment.
Right. I did.
You moved out.
Yep, I did.
You moved out.
I did. I moved out. I received new employment. And I was working at Kohl's. Really, like, I
picked up a second job.
And then I picked up a second job. Yeah, and I was just trying to get more money. So because Kohl's wasn't meeting what I was making in property management. So it was a person that worked at Kohl's that also worked at the movie theater. And he was like, oh, okay, I can get you in there. And I was like, okay, cool. Not thinking, I'm like, okay, so I get in there and I'm working at the movie theater. And I'm like in my 30s and I'm like, and I'm working one day and, you know, this sweet little girl comes in and she was like, oh, boppity bop, 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 bop. Like, and I was like, where you coming from? She was like, school. And I was like, what? I said, how old are you? She was like 15. I said, Lord, I'm working with 15-year-olds. Like, and
everybody there, even the manager was like 19 or 20 or something.
And she said, oh, how old are you? I said, 35. And she was like, and you working at the movie theater? I said, yeah, listen, it's not like my main job. And she was like, but still. I was like, Michelle, I'm quitting. Okay, I'm the oldest person here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm standing up here, and it's like, you know, people coming in, couples, and they looking at me like, this chick is like my age. I'm like, welcome. Let me get your ticket. But again, thank you, Jesus. I did make my little money, I got me another car too, and I got me another car.
Yeah. So eventually, like sometimes, and we bring that up to say, even in God's provision, it may be humbling. Like we said, he put you in the property management business, but and it wasn't long. It was for some months though, that she was like, oh, okay, Kohl's is hiring, got a friend there, got on there. Oh, literally 2 parking lots down was the movie theater. So she was like, oh, I could drive over there and work there because I need to get this paper until I'm able, while I'm applying for other places.
Absolutely.
So still, God was providing on a daily basis.
Totally.
But you know, we had received that word months ago, and she was like, man, better not nobody else say suddenly to me.
Okay. They don't get the 1, 2.
But then the suddenlies of God started to take place. So I don't know, was it Pam that had bought a car? And then
Pam, yes.
Yeah, tell the story how you got to the new car.
So Pam got a new car, and it was like a brand new car as well. So this was like 07, 08, I think it was. And Pam had got a new car, and she told me about this spot. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I had the second job. I was working at Kohl's. And so I went over there, and it was like, I wasn't expecting to drive away. And it was 08. But it was a 07. It was a 7 Taurus. And to me, that was brand new. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the car right now. And he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You good? It came back good. And it was like God just opened up. I didn't have to pay a deposit. And my credit, again, remember, all them repossessions and stuff like that.
Everywhere she left the vehicle.
Yeah. Except for the Jeep, because that was given to me.
Yeah.
But I just realized I had a lot of cars.
And the car at Pep Boys, that was paid off too.
Yeah, Pep Boys,
that was paid off.
That was paid off. I'm surprised Pep Boys didn't do a lien. Don't come back and give me Pep Boys.
No, they probably just took it to a shop.
Pop. Pep Boys is good. Pep Boys is good. That was a long time ago, Pep Boys. Don't come back and get me. Okay, so anyway, so I went to Ford. I went to a dealership. You know, I didn't go to the hood. I went to a dealership where Pam got her car, and I got me a dealership car with a warranty and everything. Let me tell y'all. And it was a really nice car. And it was like brand new to me. So that was my suddenly. And then again, I had a place, and then I got a job back in property management again. So, and then the suddenlies became like, started coming. And then I had an accident, and I got blessed again. So it was a blessing. Yeah, God is good. The suddenlies came, the other suddenlies went the other way first.
So what we're saying is, interpret what we're saying is, sometimes you receive a word from the Lord, but the enemy, it says in Mark chapter 4, the enemy comes immediately to steal the word that was given. So the prophet didn't lie. It was just the enemy came to challenge that word.
Right.
And then sin always has its season. The challenges always have its season.
Right.
And then in the timing of God, then it was a domino effect of suddenly new job at the property management,
Right.
quit Kohl's, quit the movie theater, but sometimes through those experiences, you learn how to give God thanks in all things. You
Right.
learn how to be appreciative that you do have something
Absolutely.
coming in versus nothing. You do start to appreciate having a place to stay.
Absolutely.
Like we still now, I don't care where I stay, because we had one particular weekend. This was another situation. We had a weekend where someone who was a roommate of mine, the water bill was $32. Something like $32, and she just forgot to pay it. Because I don't know if you all have ever lived with roommates where everybody's like, and so that was just the one bill. Everybody getting money to her. I'd say everybody had a 4-bedroom house, but we gave the money to her, and then she took care of the water bill, and so she just forgot. It wasn't 2 months behind or anything. But any of y'all that live in Rockdale County, Georgia, you could be 3 days late. It just depends on who the shut-off guy is.
Right.
And they love to shut your water off on a Friday.
Right.
So even if you run in on Friday, no one can come cut it on until Monday. Let me just say, they shut that water off. We didn't get off work till like 6 or something. We came in the house, and I was like, how come the faucets aren't? How come what the? And then I literally said, and so then I called Pam, who was at work, I think, and she said, oh my God, I forgot to pay the water bill. But it wasn't behind, y'all. Like it was a,
right.
Now you get another 30 days. I don't know what the situation is in Rockdale County, Georgia now, but at that time, they just shut you off. So she was very apologetic, but we had no water for that weekend. So I'm sitting here, and we didn't have Google and stuff. I was like, what do people do that don't have water? What do you do? Do you go to the restaurants and use the restaurant? And there's like, oh, you buy jugs of water, you do this. And I was like, man, I have a different appreciation for what the people suffered during Katrina or during the hurricanes here, when you cannot flush a toilet, when you cannot run water from a faucet, because we had no water. And then mentally, because you can't keep. You get thirsty. You seem like you got to go to the restroom every 20 minutes. You seem like all the things, because you're like, oh, I got to fill it up. It takes a gallon and a half. When I say, when that water got back on that Monday, I thank God every day I took a shower. Every day I was like, Lord, thank you for water. And I have more compassion for people who may be living without indoor plumbing and water and all that type of stuff. Because we only had to go through that for a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I couldn't wait to get to work. I got to work when the doors were unlocked. And I was like, I just want to be near a restroom and faucets and all of that. So it was very interesting. But Marquita got a better job in property management. God shifted her suddenly. She got the new car. It was only a year old. And when we said she went to a dealership, like, where was she buying cars before? Buy here, pay here. Yeah. All the predatory lending. Yeah. Because that's what it is. We don't run credit. We don't check credit, but we will come pick it up the first day you miss a payment. Things like that. So, God blessed us in the midst of that. And so the suddenlies of God did come to pass. So be encouraged. If you have promises from God that have not yet come to pass, everything is timing, and his timing is perfect. It is perfect timing. And so we've had some suddenlies this year since our Pastor Cindy Stewart gave us that word, because it was a true word that we'll talk about on another podcast. But we just wanted you to know, be encouraged. If God said you are the prosperous one in your family. You're the one that's going to be a blessing. You're the one he's going to flow it through. Right. The enemy will challenge that word. It doesn't mean it wasn't true, because it's all good. And with God, all things work together for your good, no matter what the enemy tries to do to challenge that word.
Absolutely.
So this has been Empowered with
Marquita
and Michelle, where we are doing life with Jesus. God bless y'all.
God bless you.